time beat, meaning the snare, the backbeat landing on 3. And the first thing I heard in my head was, this kind of thing. And I kept hearing that like it would be toms or something, or wood sounds, dynamically until where they landed on the 3rd beat. So I actually sat down on the drums in the studio, because Paige and I had written it in the studio, which is keyboards and drums. And I just did this on the bass drum, and I went. Okay, there's something like that going on, so I started getting. Now, what am I going to do in between? So I started messing with riffs. Now, I'm trying to show my dad what it is, and I can't figure out what I did. There's a beat like that, this is what I mean. It's something where your head says, okay, fill up the spaces, and I do what I'm only capable of doing in between. So it was, before the hi-hat was, all I'm doing was just keeping
Mark and I were trying to figure this out, so let me get a quick view of this.
all I was trying to do is figure out some way to put some sort of 16th notes, whether they be double strokes or single strokes. Just do it. Something in between. So then I said, well, let me split my hands up and try to do these ambidextrous type things, guys, which I can't do. But I started splitting up so that just my left hand would always play the hi-hat. And this all came to accent with my head. I'm 10-inch up here, so every time I wanted to go around the toms, I would lead with my left, and as I came across my hi-hat, I got a like dynamic going to this. Would be. That's how the beat starts, and then it develops. In fact, after the fact, when I started going on the road and play live, I finally got comfortable with it. You know, he said, Jesus, why could I have done this on a record?
Did you always play the bass drum with a straight four manner?
Yeah, sometimes I, you know. That's how it goes.
Probably asked a lot about Rosanna.
Yeah.
How you really play that, the ghost notes.
Yeah, somebody said they saw Harvey Mason was at a thing and told everybody I overdubbed the ghost notes. No, and then a drummer, he goes, no, a drummer can't physically play that. That whole beat, though, what's amazing is that, and I usually feel uncomfortable when people ask me about this beat, because it's nothing, it's like if I invented this beat to Rosanna. And it's not the case. I mean, I don't know how many times I've told people that mainly Bernard Purdy has that groove down better than anybody. And then I would hear from John Bonham to do it, man, all the time. In different things, but especially with the Greystone things. And I mean, there was a record that we had, the group Toto had out. Our second album is a song called Mama. And it was actually improved, right? Halftime shuffle, right? Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Click. That's your basic halftime shuffle. Now, I don't know about anybody, but sometimes I get nervous when I play, especially if it's playing something the first time or if it's a session or live. And my hands sometimes do this. Honest to God. So actually, did anybody ever have their hands shake a little bit? Right? No, I'm serious. And so I would start. That's okay. Control the nervous spasm you're having. And just make, you know, put some control. And actually, it's exactly what Purdy's doing. If you went. Here's a shuffle. I'm just adding this little grace note in between, right? Oh, and I'm putting backbeats halftime on the 3rd beat. So that 3rd backbeat is actually, I'm playing 2/16, one loud and one grace following it. of a sudden you can get those grace notes doing this, right? Bass drum part was just like a Bo Diddley thing, so it would come. From that, if you listen to Purdy, sometimes he keeps quarter notes or eighth notes happening on the hi-hat close, so while he's playing, so it's a... What's it, Cool in the Rain, Bonham? You know. That's basically what between, I took the Bonham beat from that and Bernard's beat from Home at Last, or Babylon Sisters. Just copied it exactly.
So you have to hit a spectral motion.
Never, yeah, especially with Purdy. If you really listen, that's why some people say, man, that groove is happening. If you dig Purdy, there's always these little ghost notes happening in between everything, you know, which makes for a pretty good feel. Because it helps, you know, if you do with dynamics, if you're hearing ghost notes. I mean, compared to just...
You never play double stroke on the Ghost note, only single stroke.
Huh?
I heard a lot of people arguing if you play the ghost note,
Exactly. Sometimes on the backbeat, on the third beat, sometimes, yeah, you mean if I'm... Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, because those, especially with the rhythm section, all that stuff came about by playing with it. If I played by myself, I wouldn't have done those. But like on a Lido Shuffle, a Boss thing or something. Yeah, I mean, because you would hear, definitely hear the train developing. I mean, especially if you got a bass player sitting there and he's playing some stuff.
You just don't sit home and say, I'm going to develop this piece playing.
I got to be honest, I don't have drums at home. I've never in my life since I moved from my parents' house did I ever have a set of drums to sit down and practice on. Because I can't stand listening to just myself playing by myself, you know. There's no, I need a rhythm section around.
No practice now, even by yourself? No.
I should, but no, I don't.
Because of the time or because you don't want?
Let's say maybe I'm comfortable. I got to be honest. I do get frustrated and stuff because I'm not an all-around really good player for a lot of. I mean, I'm very limited in stuff I do. Basically, it's street playing. You know, I learn records and stuff. And I'm very comfortable having fun playing the way I play. But then I do get, on the other hand, I get very frustrated when I'm playing something. God, man, I know I can play this, but I really got to sit down and woodshed for it to be right, or for me to even have to, do it. So I'm always caught in between. But no, I've never. I may say now that I get frustrated and want to practice, but I've never had the desire to. I'm not that crazy about drums in particular. You know what I mean? I'm not a drum fanatic like I need to. I just haven't been that interested in practicing a lot. I should practice, but as Eddie. No, really. That's what I'm saying. It's harder. The older you get, the harder it is to, get motivated. Say, okay, I'm going to sit down and taking an hour off, 2 hours, 3 hours, and I'm going to woodshed. But again, I've been real lucky that maybe I get to work a lot. Where if I show up an hour before a session, or you're at a sound check and you're with other guys, you get to mess around and jam. And it's the same thing. The more you play, the better it is.
When you're rehearsing,
Yeah. Yeah, you play like 10 hours. You play a lot, so the more you play, the better. I'm sure anybody's playing clubs and stuff. I mean, that's what I miss about playing club gigs and stuff, is the fact that it's not like you're in a recording studio with mics and somebody else's money, and they're asking you to get a certain track down. You don't have no time to screw around and have fun or take chances, basically, in most situations. Whereas in a club, I could say, gee, this thing I heard Vinny do yesterday or whatever, let me try it. Screw up, fine, Nobody out there's going to know.
When he says he
Except
doesn't,
for Vinny.
when he says he doesn't practice, doesn't mean he doesn't pick up the sticks and play too long.
Basically play every day, yeah. So that's why I think a lot. So that's why I think a lot of